Okay, I have never experienced this before, and my phone's dying, so I have to be so fast with this video. Um, okay, so clairalience. Has anybody heard of it? It is one of the clairvoyant senses, the clairs people call them. There's, clairvoyance, seeing things, clairaudient, which is hearing things. I am a clairsentient psychic medium. I've always been clairsentient. And I've made this discovery. I've never experienced this. I am in a highly transformative time where it is so easy to go back to old patterns. And for the first time ever, I've experienced this huge surge of what has to be clairalience, because the past week and every few grouping of days has been a little bit different, but they are smells and senses that came with different eras of my life. I'm talking certain relationships, I'm talking my college era, I'm talking my community college era, different, community college versus university, these eras of my life that were very significant, that a lot happened, that I was not living in integrity with who I truly am in some capacity. Depending on the era and how far back it was, it may have been more intense, of that lack of alignment, lack of integrity. This is telling me that in this time, it is so close in the intangible. I can so easily go back to old patterns. It's literally in the smell. I mean, not even just psychically. I go outside and I'm like, what is this? And I live in a different location now. I grew up in a completely different area for most of my life. And so it's okay, how am I smelling this here when there are different flora and fauna outside? This makes no sense. And I was freaking out a little bit. I'm like, oh my gosh, wait, and of course, with that fear, it invites you to dig into it. It invites you to sort of, kind of explore and lean into the fear of okay, well, why am I so afraid of that concept of going backwards? Why am I so uncomfortable with this? And so I've been doing a little bit of that, of course, but I was just watching another video about the whole you're not going backwards, it's a quantum leap. Honestly, I'll go ahead and link it in the description. It's a really good video. It hit me. I was like, holy crap, these smells. This is my spirit guides telling me that it is the threshold, and hey, oh my gosh, we are approaching Samhain or Halloween, Feralia in Italy. It has a bunch of different names, but the thinning of the veil, not only between the living and the past, but for me, I've come to realize with this clairalience coming in for me, it's holy crap, I don't know if you've experienced this. If you have, please sound off in the comment section, because it's trying to show me hey, this is how close your old life is. Do not. This is crazy. And I'm like, oh my God. So, don't sweat it, but don't go back. Because in this video I'm linking down below in the description, she talks about how, oh my gosh, I lost my train of thought. I was about to make, okay. I was saying going back, old fears being louder. Yes, okay, thanks. Thanks, Spirit. Old fears getting louder. There's different physical 3D world things, but also some anxieties about some of the people in my life too, where I'm like, oh my gosh, what are they gonna say? What am I, what if they don't like what I'm doing? Or there's fears that I haven't really felt in a while. And maybe it's because I have made a big transition in my life recently. I'm kind of in a weird period of isolation. Some people, I had to leave, in the, how do I word that? Just people in my life that I felt were not aligned with, we were meant for different paths, okay? So I have like sensed, like I have since said like, hey, I can't have you in my life anymore. I've like stepped back with engaging with them, like whatever. Each situation was kind of a case by case, but it is very isolating right now. And so in this, it's almost like I wish there was some goofy cartoon reference I could make, but it's like this thing of the creeping of the old fears of like, remember this that you were worried about a year ago? Like and this and this and this, now that you are alone in this new space, alone with your thoughts, these coming back. Like, no, they're not actually coming back. They are on their way out. They're on their way out. So I just wanted to talk about that. If you clairalience, oh my goodness, I have never experienced this. If you are going outside physically, or if you are in a totally new place and you are smelling smells or feeling vibes of like aesthetically, I guess, of previous eras of your life, look at where you're at. Look and see, okay, how am I living my life day to day? What are the fears that are repeating in my head? What are those thought loops? What are some of the recurring like worries, anxieties, patterns? Like, are you reverting back to old coping mechanisms that aren't super healthy? Like, it'll look different for everybody. I invite you to reflect. I invite you to pause, reflect, see what that looks like for you. Like I said, it could be an old coping skill. It could be an old person. Like maybe you feel tempted to like reach out to people that you know are not aligned with where you are headed. Maybe there was toxicity. Maybe there was like incredible discordian energy or like misunderstanding or just chaos. You don't deserve that. And so I guess what you could go even deeper to see what wounded aspects of you are seeking to be soothed by that old familiar thing. Like, what did it provide? That's another way you could dig into it. But all of that being said, it is not real. It is an illusion. It's trying to, I guess, I don't know if I want to like word it like this because this is very like the forces of evil trying to, you know, like certain religions say, you know, like, oh, you know, demonic or like devil influences, whatever you believe in, you know, whatever keeps you from your highest. Whatever that looks like for you, whether you use the word like demon or devil or like weird bad energy, whatever. To me, rather than looking at it that way, it's just like, okay, I'm literally gonna turn the camera and show you a picture of my inner child, but she is right here, and I have a little note of like my commitments to her daily. Look at her. Look at how cute she is, holding her little pom-poms. Purple's always been my favorite color. Think about your inner child. And me sitting here in this highly uncomfortable place with these familiar smells, like in my psychic vision, like, ew, what? Like, don't want to move backwards because it's like I am constantly evolving, and that thing being there, that familiar thing, it's like, oh, well, that was a time where I wasn't in integrity with my authenticity in one way or another, my passion, my purpose. And so it's like, okay, moving forward now, what is, think about your inner child. What do they deserve? What does he or she deserve? However you identify. Don't go back for them. Push forward for them. And I'm gonna get emotional. Work towards and align to what you know you deserve no matter what is around you. And for me, like I said, I mentioned judgment earlier about like that being an anxiety. Like, so what if they judge you? So what? This life is an experience that is temporary, that is physical. We are all source. We're all one. And so, and you know what? I'm going to say something else too. I had a near-death experience. Sorry, oh my gosh, YouTube. I had a near, I don't know if, I had a near bad experience. And I was actively worrying about, like, the perceptions of other people in this moment too. This was, oh my gosh, it's already been, I think, a year now. I was on the road. It was dark out. It was dark. There were no street lamps. And I was approaching an intersection. There was no stop sign. I didn't see anyone around me because it was nighttime. You would have seen oncoming headlights, you know, but again, I was also kind of in my head at this point, unfortunately, trying to drive home from work. And out of nowhere, this car comes and I almost T-boned them. And in that moment, it's like a filter came across my vision, seriously. And it was like nothing was real all of a sudden. Thankfully, we both reacted so quick. I slammed on the brakes and they actually sped up so that I was left, and thankfully nobody else was coming on the other side of the road. So I was left stopped completely right in the middle of the intersection and they were like gone. My heart's pounding. I pull off into a nearby parking lot. And I get out and look, and at first I'm hating myself. I'm like, oh my God, did I just blow a stop sign? I did a really bad thing. And like, I get out, I look, there was no stop sign. And so I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to report this to the local authorities that there is a stop sign on the other side, but not on my side. Holy crap, what are the odds, right? And so in that moment, walking away from that, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is one of the most aggressive signs from spirit I've ever received. In that moment, it didn't, like, oh my gosh, and I'm gonna like get emotional again. It didn't matter what these people thought. Like, I could have passed. Like, my journey could have ended. That other person's journey, we could have both been very seriously not okay. And that really put things into perspective. It's like, holy crap, at the end of the day, like, it's not about money. It's not about, like, materialistic, egoic highs and stuff, whatever that looks like for you. It's about purpose. It's about love. It's about unity. It's about happiness and joy, and being able to try and create that in your life as much as possible in whatever way that you can. That's all that matters. That's what really matters in life. Love, community, peace, and joy, and all that. So I think back to that. It's like, wow, how menial are these routines that we're put into by society, depending on where you live, depending on what you do. Like, yikes. Let's put into perspective what really matters, and that we can create whatever we want here. And it doesn't matter what anybody else says. As the saying goes, it's more like a idea. I've actually seen it on a lot of car stickers here, like bumper stickers where I live, that only God can judge you. Only God can judge you if people are going to get angry or try to attack you from what you are trying to do for not only your inner child, your legacy, whatever that looks like. Maybe it's your pets, but maybe it's, you know, like if you adopt children or want to have children of your own one day, or just make a beautiful, positive impact in your community, like wherever you are. Just the way that you interact with the world and go out into the world, that is creating ripples of energy all the time. And so interaction, whatever form that takes, do it for the new world, this new reality of life balance, of aligning to what truly matters in life. And if people are going to be upset at you about that, they're not meant to be in your life. They're just not. And that might be uncomfortable. That might be devastating in some cases. That might be logistically difficult, you know, depending on your situation, like who's around you, what structures are in place socially, whatever, financially, you know. This is more important. Your alignment, your joy is more important. Your peace, your legacy, like I said, whatever that looks like, is more important. By you healing and by you aligning to what your truth, capital T truth is, that is what makes all the difference. Whether, like I said, you have kids or adopt pets or start a charity or a sanctuary, or you give back to your community in some way. That is everything. We are evolving towards a better experience for everyone, not just a certain group, not just a certain age, not just whatever, like everyone. So no matter what your background is, no matter how old you are, where you're located, you anchoring into your truth and your authenticity is everything. And so being brave against adversity, being brave against looming fears that may or may not have any real, like, physical whatever, you know, that's very important. So this has been so interesting. I'm so happy with how this video has evolved, because I ran into my room. I was in the middle of doing dishes. I'm like, oh my gosh, I have to talk about this. Okay, so I'm gonna go. My phone is plugged in. It was like dying before it was. But I'm like, oh, this is a 4K video. I don't know if it's gonna, like, even though it's plugged in, I don't know if it's gonna, like, be bad, but so far it's okay. I'm not gonna push it though, so I'm gonna stop the video. So much love to you. I see you. I have also an Etsy shop launching soon and a podcast. The Etsy shop will have affirmations, activations, guided meditations, extremely potent medicine that I'm going to be scripting out and recording for you guys to clear all the crap that doesn't belong to you, that might help support you in this process of, like, being brave against adversity in your alignment process. So that'll be up very, very soon. Thank you. I'm wishing you a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next one.